Dave, do you have a website?
I do. I have a website. I've got just a website, and I've got the like the community, a Mighty Network community page set up. Um,
What is your website?
I can post the link in here actually.
Okay, one thing I would say, I don't know if I use a business networking group. They're a nonprofit called Renaissance. I don't know if you've heard of it, but they have a few locations throughout the Bay Area. I know you're in Belmont. They're called the Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center. They offer all kinds of different, workshops, finance, sales, networking events. I think that would be a great way for you to get a ton of information. They offer free business workshops. Um, you had mentioned, you're trying to figure out if you want to do an extension or OICB, the Whirlwind, or the website. But I would just say to build up your website, be the Whirlwind. And maybe if you can do any kind of in-person events like pop-ups and things, maybe there is some kind of, something tangible that you can create to give out to people. And, just to see what people think, because that was how I started with my cards. I got people's information by doing pop-ups. They basically narrowed down the price for me, like all these different things. It would help you a lot to do the same.
That's a good idea. Like I thought about maybe setting up at like even just a farmer's market and just like showing people like examples of social enterprises that you could purchase from, or products even from there. Cause really I'm just out there trying to amplify the message. And so kind of as Marla was talking about, like for income, like right now I have a job, a full-time job. And so I'm not as focused on revenue generation just yet, but I do know that I can generate revenue through affiliate links because I've already got on my website links to go to shop from these different businesses and stuff. And I can easily integrate that into the browser extension as well. I haven't actually joined those affiliate programs. You'd think most people would do that first, but for me, I've just been so focused on trying to work out like different ways that the business could play out and like the infrastructure of it. And so the next step is to join those affiliate programs or whatever else. But to your point, doing it in person, I think it gives me the chance. I'm not that great with just messaging, like with marketing, so I could just talk person to person much easier. Thank you for that input.
Taking a look at your website, I think that if you're able to do some blogs, I don't know if you already have some blogs, that would help a lot, because this is information that I look for all the time and cannot find. So if there's a way for that to show up at the top of that Google search, like that would be great, because I know I'm not the only one looking for this information. You have it laid out: shop B Corporation, shop Black owned, shop woman owned, cruelty free. If you can somehow maybe get those on your very first home page that people land on, I think that would help a lot with some pictures.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because you have the information.
Camilla, did you have your hand raised to address Dave's challenge, or was it for your own challenge?
Hi, no, it was to address Dave's challenge. So I'd start by asking, like, have you created a business plan? And again, I shared I have an MBA. So if anyone was to like take my contact information or reach out via LinkedIn to ask questions, like I'm happy to help in the ways that I can. But Dave, it seems to me like you need to do a full-on like analysis of your market first, and then you can address and target specific, like your specific audience. So is your, like you need to get very specific to the core of who is your avatar that you're targeting. Is this individual 40 to 50 years old? Is this individual, I don't know, 30 to 50? Are you looking for certain, income bracket? Are you looking for a specific location, right? Because the information that you're providing is very broad. I'm looking at the website as well. And I think it's really useful. I just think that you need to be a little bit more focused on your target in order for you to get to the question that you're asking for. Like, is it a pop-up in a farmer's market the right place for you? Is it a direct message on LinkedIn to the folks that you're targeting, right? Like, I feel like once you understand your specific target to the avatar, like to the persona, like what do they like to eat? Where do they go shopping? What are, again, I already said this, but what is their spending target? And once you understand those questions, that will give you a better idea of perhaps where do you want to find those folks.
Those are great points. And yeah, to your point, I don't have a specific business plan. I have a lot of outlines, and I did build up some personas. But I'm not, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to move too quickly and just address every persona and just see which one seems like the most that it resonates with. But it does make some sense to sort of niche that down a little bit.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that's important, it's because like not everyone, so the information you're sharing, and this is the reality of, I think, like achieving the target market that we want for these products, like not everyone has the capacity to spend that much money on these products just because their heart is there, right? And so I think having that filter understanding that you got to do the exercise first, like as much as I know, I get you, like you want to help everyone, and everyone should be filtered through the metrics you've created to find the products they want that are positive for the environment. But like not everyone will have the capacity to access them, even if they wanted to. So I think breaking down those avatars doesn't just have to be one, but if you got to let's say you filter by salary, by range of spending, by location, then you can create this different avatars and target them differently for different products or for different services that you're offering. But I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, I would echo what Camilla said. Coming from a marketing background, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one, right? And if you want your message to be really effective, you have to speak right to them. And unfortunately, we're in a world just up to the neck in greenwashing. And so people like us who are really trying to get our message out there, we have to be really, really careful about how we're talking. So we're on the same language, on the same page, speaking the same language with the people who we're really trying to serve. She was talking a lot about basically market research. Yes, building avatars, but also doing the market research to figure out who are the actual people who are interested in this, as opposed to just hypothesized. That's a big part of it. And if you're doing effective market research, you'll be able to encounter the people, we call them your mavens, people who are super duper excited about what you're doing, right? Who are like your total evangelists, like, yes, I need this. And I want to shout it from the rooftops, right? And those are the people, you go find the people who are absolutely just love what you're doing. And that's how you start building your community, because they believe in what you're doing. And so they will become moderators. They will join the community because they're all on board, and they will, more importantly, they will share it with their networks because they believe in what you're doing. So that's a way to start the community from zero, from my 2 cents.
That sounds great. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. And so you're right. And to Camila's point, like that's one of the reasons I wanted the community, was to be able to do things like, okay, everybody share your most affordable, like ethical swaps, or like, where do you find the most affordable versions of this, or like whatever, like that's data that's so hard to come by. But anyway, sorry, I don't want to hog anymore. Please let somebody else.
No, you're fine. I would add one more thing, because I think every business should be doing content marketing, like blog, social media, whatever, but to get your message out there, it just works in terms of not being manipulative, like really just telling your story, creating enough content so that people can get on board with what you're doing, especially businesses in trying to be positive lights. People want to see that you're doing enough positive things over time to get on board with what you're doing. But it would be such easy content when you find a new brand to do a blog or just do a social post, and just slowly building up those channels Because I think people, it's an easy thing to get on board is to download a Chrome extension. But you don't want to start with download my Chrome extension, right? It's like, oh, did you hear about this brand? Did you hear Patagonia is doing da 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 da? Or these are my favorite brands of shoes that are doing awesome things in the world. You know, stuff like that is really accessible, and you'll start to see who's responding and where people are that. But that's like an easy content marketing thing. But that also does typically come after market research. But anyways,
Can I just add one more thing?
Yeah.
I think you could do, if you're down to do like a pop-up that maybe features some of the brands that you have listed on there, I think that would help you build your community.
Yeah, it's something it's definitely something I wanted to do. It's a little bit of an investment to get like those items and then like get the paperwork to get into, say, like into the farmer's market or like somewhere else. But you're right. I think I mean, it is something I've definitely thought about.
You can
Dave, sorry, can I just also add something that's free? Like maybe leverage this social media tools that exist that are free, like Instagram, Canvas. I mean, there's all these things, there's all these GPT like technology things that will help you create things for free. And one of the things that I've recently learned through experience was actually you create community through your social media, and then these pop-ups like really just become your tool to sell, which I thought it was like the opposite. So it's interesting. So and you know, building community in social media is easy, like through not that I'm not gonna say it's easy because it's time consuming, but it's free. And I think that that is one tool that we have in our repertoire, like as entrepreneurs today, that like we didn't have years ago. And so I would encourage you to really look into like the free tools that exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Camilla was saying, it's hard to put if you're putting out a bunch of money to go to the farmer's market, because a lot of times you have to pay for a spot or whatever. If there's absolutely clearly no return on it, maybe not the best place to start. Once you have a community, that may be different. Once you're an affiliate, that would be different.
Yeah, I had the belief that like I could go out this weekend with because I've got like to your point, Camila, a social media post, like I'm just like coming out on social media. But my first one was going to be basically 5 gifts for Mother's Day that like do something super impactful. So like having those there that people could just buy and say, okay, good, I've got Mother's Day taken care of, because this lotion that I bought in this candle was made by women who survived human trafficking, and it gives them a new life and helps them start. And that's a whole thing you can have with your mother, and you can describe like how you've just given her a gift, but you've also done this other thing. And so that was kind of what I was thinking of in that realm. It's just a little bit close timing wise now.